Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Tales from the Vargas Vault video. This is actually a video I've been trying to upload for a while. The first time I did it, I was really proud because I was actually able to capture footage for what I want to talk about, and YouTube blocked it, so I failed there. The second time I did, like I'm doing it now, talking with you guys with clips of the movie, kind of like what the nerd does, but during editing, that failed, so I'm gonna go, old school like I used to do on these videos, and just talk to you guys about my top 6 favorite shootouts in movies. These are movies I have or have seen that have, they're not necessarily good, but they have some really epic shootout scenes, and I hope you guys enjoy this. First off, I want to talk about number 6 on my list, and that's Desperado. This movie is basically one long shootout, just a whole bunch of shootout scenes that are really cool. Personally, I like 2 scenes in this movie. The first one is the Salma Hayek scene, which if you've seen this movie, you know how cool that is. The second one is the bar scene. El Mariachi enters this bar, and they're waiting for a mariachi, because they heard the story of how this guy's just going bar through bar, shooting up everything. So they're waiting for a mariachi to come in there and cause trouble. So he comes in, they open his guitar case, and there's a guitar inside, and we're like, okay, cool. That thing opens up, and this mini arsenal is in there, and they know they're screwed. El Mariachi grabs his gun, starts shooting people up left and right. He gets into the bar stool, and he starts shooting people. He shoots a guy and sends them flying through the air. He shoots a fan and it falls on the guy's head and knocks him out. Just a really, really cool movie. Seeing how it's shot and how it's edited. It's really, really cool. So that takes number 6 on my list. Number 5 of my favorite shootouts comes from Die Hard. John McClane is a total badass in this movie. He goes to visit his wife, and terrorists / bank robbers come in to try to steal the place, and he's the only one that has any knowledge on how to stop him. My 2 favorite scenes are when he's at the top of the building and he jumps off it and explodes. But the one that takes the cake is the shootout scene where he's talking to Hans, who is the leader of the terrorists / bank robbers, and he's there and he's talking everything, and then Hans' henchmen come in with assault rifles shooting up. John McClane does the most epic thing that has been copied in a whole bunch of movies. He starts shooting at them as he's running to the side and just screaming to the top of his lungs. He's like, oh, and shooting everything up. He hides in this office space which is filled with computers, and he starts shooting back at the bad guys, and the bad guys are shooting him, and computers are blowing up. And then Han realizes that John McClane has no shoes, so he's ordering his henchmen to shoot at the glass, and glass starts flying all over the place as computers and other equipment get blown up. Just a really, really cool shootout scene. Number 4 on my favorite shootouts list comes from Zombieland. Now this is one of the best movies I've seen recently. It works as a comedy, it works as a zombie movie, but at the end, Woody Harrelson, who plays Tallahassee, goes in there to this amusement park to help save Wichita and Little Rock. So he tells the other character to go save them while he distracts the zombies. So he gets in this Ferris wheel and he starts shooting at the zombies with a noose. He's like, then he gets on a roller coaster and he starts shooting zombies like on a video game. He's like, boom, and one goes flying, boom, and another one goes flying. One comes up behind him and he shoots him, and just that looked like it was fun. And at the end, he jumps into this shooting range, locks himself up, and then this horde of zombies just gangs up on him, and he's shooting at the zombies, and he's doing this thing, and he's doing shooting on the top, on the back. And he unloads and he reloads like this, and he's shooting at the zombies again. By the end, this pile of undead are dead, and he's just standing there I'm a total badass. does everything. Number 3 on my list comes from one of my favorite action movies of all time, and that's Terminator 2, Judgment Day. With the Governator, I will terminate you. And the movie itself is just jam-packed with really cool scenes, but my favorite one is when they get the scientist, and they take him to his office where he's developing Skynet, based on the chip from the previous Terminator. And the cops come in, and John Connor tells Arnold to go and stall them, but don't kill anyone, because you promised you wouldn't kill anyone. And the Terminator's like, trust me. So he goes, and he comes out, he kicks open a desk, and comes out with this minigun. So he starts shooting everything around the cops, he shoots the cop cars, he just... And he looks really, really badass with that gun. And things blow up, and cops, get shot all over the place. And by the end of the scene, he's scanning everything, and it's loss of life 0. And he just walks away while the epic Terminator song plays on the background. Just really, really cool shootout scene. Number 2 on my list, it's actually a movie that I love, but I don't own. So I'm borrowing my brother's copy of The Matrix. So, brother, if you're watching, I borrowed your copy of The Matrix. The movie itself is also really epic. It brings up a lot of themes, philosophical themes. How we're going with the machines, again, like Terminator. So it's a really epic movie. But my favorite scene is when they capture Morpheus, and Agent Smith has him in this office building, and then Neo sets out to save him. And Trinity's saying, like, you're crazy, this will never work. And Neo's like, it'll work. So he goes in, passes through a metal detector, and it starts bleeping, and the security guards are like, what you got? And he opens his trench coat, and he has all this arsenal of guns, and he starts shooting at the guards. Trinity meets up with him, and then these soldiers come out, or SWAT team members, and one of the most epic shootouts begins, where they're shooting everything up, and parts from the lobby are blasting all over the place, and they're doing these over-the-top kung fu moves, and some really cool and really neatly filmed slow motion, just a really, really cool shootout scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in a movie. How everything's just looks cool and with style. So really cool. How come that's not number 1, you might ask? There's one scene in the movie that tops The Matrix, like totally blows it out of the air, and that comes from Rambo. Now, John Rambo is another really cool badass. When Stallone said he was going to revisit Rambo, I thought it was kind of weird because it's been so long since the last one. Basically, a group of missionaries are going to Vietnam to provide help to this village that is being massacred by this militia group. They hire Rambo to take them over there, and he leaves them, and the missionaries get taken hostage. The church that funded that hired some mercenaries, and they take Rambo with them. By the end of the movie, both the mercenaries and the missionaries are held at gunpoint by the militia. Rambo comes up. He stabs a guy in this jeep with a really big gun, takes a hold of the gun, and just plows over all the militia guys, just like shooting, and you can feel the weight of the gun. It sounds like something weird, but you can feel the weight of the gun, how he's shooting everything up. And as he's shooting the guys, the soldiers literally explode, like in this barrage of bullets. Like there's this scene where there's a soldier, and he just explodes into this red mist, and the whole thing is filmed in this really cool documentary style. So it's kind of grainy and it's kind of dark, but Rambo is shooting up the militia guys, and there's body parts flying all over the place, and then the mercenaries get a hold of their guns, and they're starting to shoot people up. Then they call in this, the militia group calls in this boat, and it starts shooting everywhere, and there's chaos everywhere, and then the rebels come in, and just everything. It's this big chaos while Rambo is still just blowing people apart, like literally. There's the scene where there's this guy, and then Rambo starts shooting at him, and just disintegrates into this, big red spot thing, and that just because of the grittiness, and it really is kind of like a zombie movie in the sense that it just gory all over the place. But I mean, I didn't think anything could top The Matrix, but that last scene in this movie is by far my favorite shootout. The way it's filmed, the way everything just explodes, awesome shootout. So really recommend that one. So this was a short video because I'm hoping this time this thing will load right, and I suggest you watch each and every one of these 6 movies because they all rule. But if I'm forgetting one, let me know. Love to check it out. Until I see you guys again, this is Vargas XX78 signing off.